Instead of showing you these traps all at once, why don't I show you them individually? Hey guys, Digitrailz here, and I'm here to show you some Sculk Sensor traps and tricks for a world where you and your friends are okay with trapping and tricking each other. These will be good for hopefully the full release, considering they are pretty straightforward and should be good enough that any minor tweaks should just get them back up and running if anything should change in the snapshots. So let's dive on in. First here, we have a random TNT releaser that uses a composter to release the TNT. This can be used as your friends walk by their door. You could put something like a doorbell up to this, or hook this up to their doorbell. If they have something like a shulker doorbell, so that as they're walking by, they don't really think too much of it. But then what you do is you have a comparator, and just as it fills up, and you can even make it last longer, it then explodes. And then you just put different food in here. I currently have pumpkin pie in here, but you could put something that doesn't fill up as quickly, and that's how you prime it a little bit faster or slower, and you can time it that way. But all you do is put it up there, and as they walk by, it will drop there, and then there's the TNT. You want to have basically the skivvy of it is you have a dispenser that drops it on top of a hopper that feeds into a composter, and then I recommend just having a hopper underneath it with something like a chest. Then you have a comparator that feeds out and onto a dispenser that goes into water, and then you have the water somewhere that can hurt them. And that's basically just that. So what we have here is a noise machine. It doesn't trigger by walking because the comparator reaches out a bit more, but one thing you can add to this is a shulker that is waterlogged. You can add it to any one of these machines because it silences the shulker, so you won't hear the noise that triggers whenever it gets activated. But what you can do is as it walks around, it won't activate, so it's sort of like inconspicuous. They will see those flashes here and there, and that's a good way to find one, but if they eat, it activates. And the problem is sometimes with these ones, it won't activate all the time if they're walking around and eating, because it may trigger the Sculk sensor. I don't like calling it a shulker, because they may be activating it while they're walking, and it may catch them off guard. So that is a fun way to just sort of trick them. And the best thing is, note blocks don't actually activate Sculk sensors. So it won't end up in an infinite loop, unlike the next trap. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. Often these videos have a higher non-subscriber view than my subscribers. So I would love to see you in the next video down in the comments below. So let's move on with the video. This next trap is more like an infinite arrow cannon, basically. If you want it to have a narrower range, I recommend putting more carpet in front of this. But for the proof of concept, I'm just going to leave it like this. But basically what you want to do is have a Sculk sensor here, a repeater in there, and then we'll have 2 bits of redstone right here, have a redstone torch there to create a clock, and then you just have a dispenser right here. And then when you activate it, to prime it, just put a piece of redstone right here, and all it will do is when it gets activated, it just fires. And sometimes these arrows will just trigger the Sculk sensor and continue a loop. So if you end up having like maybe a range right here, you could have a hallway down here, and you end up basically having almost like a infinite cannon or a cool different type of trap. But yeah, so it's basically just an infinite arrow cannon until the person dies. For this next one, it's now sort of a awesome devious trap. What looks like in front of you is just a painting. And all that looks like in front of you is just a painting. So we walk up in front of it, and it's lava. We can now hide lava traps behind paintings because all we need to do, literally all we need to do, is hide a Sculk sensor behind a dispenser. And to narrow the range, you just need to put it a little further back with some redstone. And if you want to open the range up, you just put the Sculk sensor next to the dispenser. And then once you want it to go away, so we'll turn off and on. It should at least. But yeah, no other traps, no other tricks. He literally hides behind the painting. So you may want to have fire tick off. So this last one here is sort of one of those nuisance tricks where you kind of just hide stuff in someone's wall and just leave it there to annoy them. Because, yeah, basically all you do, 2x2, put a chicken in there or another animal, put a Sculk sensor above it, I don't know why I keep calling it shulkers, and then put a bell above it. Eventually, the chicken will do something, whether it's walk the right way or poop out an egg, and the Sculk sensor will pick it up and then ring the bell, like it just did as I was talking. But that is basically how this trap works, and it's very random when it'll happen. It doesn't happen that often, and you can kind of just set and forget. And the way to get chickens is pretty easy because you can just grab eggs. So you're pretty much good to go. Yeah, that last and the very basic trap. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please let me know what you liked, and feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I do like making videos similar to this and other videos as well. I hope to see you in the next video, and I'll catch you later. And remember, when you're on the digital trails, watch out for digital bears. Bye for now.